I was in a really, really nice fabric store. I'm talking walls and walls and walls of fabric. And if there's anything that I love more than anything, it's being in a fabric store. I don't have to have an idea. I don't have to have a reason to be there. I don't have to have a specific fabric in mind. Just being around walls and walls of fabric is like heaven for me. So I'm in the fabric store, and the whole purpose of me going there it was for something actually, and I was selecting fabric, satin, ivory, and white satin for these dresses that I'm working on. So as I'm looking through the various bolts of fabrics, trying to get a feel for the texture, for the color, for the drapeability, I picked two selections. One was a really, really beautiful white zibbeling. And then the second was a satin ivory color. And both of them were very, very beautiful. And the ivory was a little bit more yellow than I prefer, but still very beautiful. So my purpose was to grab these fabrics and to, get them cut and take them home, or take the whole bolt and take them home. And so the guy who owns the fabric store came over and he was assisting me. And as he was rolling out the fabric to inspect it, he put the fabric on the table and he told me to inspect it, to look at it. That if I saw anything, to make sure I call it out. So I'm looking at the fabric, and it looked okay, it was decent. But as he was looking at the fabric, he owns the fabric store, so he knows everything there is about fabric. He was like, "You don't want this one," and I was like, "Why? It looks okay. They're just for sample dresses. It's not actually going to be someone's dress." And he said, "No, you don't want this fabric. Look at the fabric. There are spots and wrinkles in it." And I looked at it and I said, "You're right. But it's only on this part." He was like, "No, you don't want this fabric. You don't want this fabric. You want to get something that doesn't have any stains or any wrinkles." And that immediately made me think about the Ephesians 5 chapter, which talks about wives and husbands, and how the wife is supposed to do certain things in order to present his bride perfect and glorious to the Father. And the actual verse says that he will wash her with the word so that he can present her faultless. And another translation says, without spot or wrinkle. And as someone who does wedding dresses, that resonated. Because as a bride, what is the one thing that you want for your wedding dress to be, other than beautiful? It's without spots, stain, or wrinkle. When you're taking those pictures, you want to make sure that you present the best image, so that your guests and those people who couldn't attend, and even when you're looking back on the memories, you can see how beautiful you were, and you won't be distracted by any stains or any imperfections in the dress. I actually remember in design school, one of the final classes, we were doing presenting our bridal collection. And the professor said, once you're making these gowns, he was giving us the various things that we need to keep in mind, and some of the things that we could do to clean the gown if something happened. And I guess there's this thing in the bridal industry where, as someone is making the dress, they're going to get it stained. And one of the things that actually stains the dresses more often than not is blood. And as someone who, I went to design school, we had sewing machines. In the first year of design school, a young lady in my class actually sewed through her finger. And there was this whole big discussion at the beginning of class of what to do if you sew through your finger. Thank God that has never happened to me. I know someone else that has happened to. I pray that never happens to me, because it's just horrifying to me. But my professor, he actually said, one of the good ways, one of the ways that you can get rid of blood stains is by a little spit. And I thought at the time, this is so disgusting. Who would want to wear anything with, blood or spit or any other bodily fluids in it? And then I was watching a documentary on, I was watching a documentary for Chanel. And one of the ladies in the atelier, she actually said, these people. So I was watching a documentary for Chanel, and one of the ladies in the atelier actually said that the ladies who purchase, or the models who wear the dresses, because I don't know if this happens when you purchase a dress, but for the models who actually wear the collection, wear the pieces in the collection, they have no idea how much blood, sweat, and tears went into that dress, which I thought was really, really funny, and just goes to show you that only Jesus can present you faultless before the Father without spot or wrinkle. Because even these high-end couture dresses, who knows what's going on underneath there. But I thought that was a beautiful, beautiful allusion to God's word and his truth. And it really resonated with me. And I hope it gave you a little bit of humor, a little bit of truth, and a little bit of joy for the day. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.